I have a message for the tyrants of Tehran. If you strike us, we will strike you. There is no place. There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach. And that's true of the entire Middle East.
Republic of Iran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Security Council, more than enough has been said about the horrors of ongoing genocide in Gaza, but not a single action is taken by the Security Council to stop it. Instead, the Israeli criminal mafia is rewarded, their crimes are justified, and their atrocities are normalized before our eyes. That's why Netanyahu and his companions have become so viciously emboldened to dream of repeating their carnage in Lebanon and of pushing the entire region into a full-scale war. It is very clear that they are counting on U.S. support in their sinister campaign of terror and destruction. Just this morning, Israeli regime used several 5,000-pound bunker busters that had been gifted to them by the United States to hit residential areas in Beirut. While the Israeli regime must be held accountable for the atrocity crimes they have been committing in occupied Palestine and Lebanon, one cannot disregard the U.S. complicity in their crime. I just remind the Council of a couple of facts. First, Israel's warmongering relies on U.S. military support and political backing. American weapons constitute the major part of Israeli weaponry and ammunition used in Gaza, and therefore the United States is implicated in every aspect of Israel's atrocity. The vast majority of bombs Israel drops on Gaza are U.S.-made. The U.S. has sent so many arms to Israel since October 7 that the Pentagon has struggled to find sufficient cargo aircraft to deliver the material. If there is minimal honesty in U.S. expression of concern over the loss of innocent Palestinian life in Gaza and Lebanon, it can simply deny Israel the tools it needs to commit crime. Mr. President, it is now more than a year of genocidal campaign in Gaza. More than 200,000 people have been slaughtered, wounded, or buried under the rubble. The whole Gaza Strip is leveled to the ground. Children and women have been deliberately mass murdered as part of Israel's deliberate whim to annihilate Palestine. The world has been watching with indignation and disgust, while the West has only been appeasing the culprit. Mr. President, the Council's credibility is shrinking every minute, as it is prevented by Israel's major supporters from fulfilling its responsibility under the Charter. The Council must act now and stop Israel's cruel plan to exterminate an entire nation who have for 8 long decades been under brutal occupation and suppression. The Council's inaction is an invitation to more atrocity. The Council's members, and indeed the whole United Nations system, would be held responsible for every atrocity Israel commits in Gaza, in Lebanon, and elsewhere. Netanyahu and his criminal gang must have been arrested and prosecuted for the most heinous crimes, not to let him appear before this august body and take pride in his evil deeds. That's the historic shame that a high-profile killer dares to show up at the United Nations and poison the General Assembly with his disgusting lies and outrageous threats to invade other states and kill more people. He is illusional about the people in the region that he boasted about normalizing relations with Muslims by swimming through a sea of Palestinian and Lebanese blood. That's not going to happen for sure. As the Israeli campaign of death and destruction continues, the people in the region become more determined in their firmly held belief that Israel is a nasty outsider planted in our region as part of a colonial scheme to engage our region in unending cycle of wars and violence. We express our sympathy towards the people of Lebanon. The Islamic Republic of Iran will be on the side of Lebanon and resistance by all means. I thank you very much.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Arakci for his statement. I now give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Hakan Fidan, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Turkey.
Dear colleagues, I would like to thank at the outset Algeria for initiating this session. I also would like to thank to my friend Ms. Tanja Fajon, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Slovenia, the Chairperson in Office of Security Council, for opening this debate to the participation of countries outside the Council. Today, we are confronted with a blade-sharp turning point. Our trajectory will define the world we want to live in and the way nations interact. As I articulated yesterday at a different setting, our so valued rules-based order is in shambles. This erosion is getting irreversible with each passing day. Wisdom could have prevailed to stop this barbaric war in Gaza before it expands to the West Bank, Lebanon, and beyond. It is so puzzling that certain international actors, which have the leverages to alter this horrific course, decided deliberately to stay paralyzed, and they show no reflexes whatsoever to take conclusive action. What we need to do is so clear. There is a UN Security Council resolution setting out fundamentals of a deal. An immediate and permanent ceasefire must be secured. Hostages, detainees exchange should take place. Israel must withdraw from Gaza. Humanitarian aid needs to give unhindered towards Palestinians that are in dire need to survive. We are all aware that Netanyahu has consistently evaded such a deal from unfolding. So much encouraged by the impunity granted, he will continue with his genocidal acts until the international community, especially the Security Council, puts real pressure on Israel to stop. I underline the Security Council's primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security. The Council, regrettably, so far failed to make sure Israel implements its resolutions. No arms embargo, no coercive measures. With Israeli aggression unbounded, Lebanon on target, we are now in uncharted waters. All measures of international law and international humanitarian law have been sidelined, blindfolded. Intense bombing continues unabated without distinction of civilians and military targets. The Security Council should rise to its essential task. I urge all of you to stop this war and Israeli aggression. Only and only peace will ensure security of Israel, and peace will come only by two-state solution. Political or individual interests of Netanyahu and his fundamentalist partners should not endanger regional stability and international order. Let us pave the way for the two-state solution with an independent, sovereign, and contiguous Palestinian state based on the 1967 lines with each Jerusalem as its capital. Let us work all together for a just and lasting peace. This is our call to the Security Council. Thank you very much.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Fidan for his statement.
Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: African politics, economy, and increasing power. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Tell us what you think in the comment section. Like and share the video, and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our African videos. It's the best way to support us.